I've been journaling for about 30 odd years, and one of the things that has been really, really helpful for me is the ability of a journal to reflect very well what's in my mind and to help me externalize it. Because a lot of the time, the literal overwhelm that we feel is just because we're not being able to get things out. So, being able to use a book to externalize that is a great way to relieve a lot of mental pressure. What I want to share with you today is a three-part journaling technique, and we're going to go through a basic version of the reveal, reclaim, and rewrite method that I'm developing. And basically, I'm just going to give you a quick prompt that you can do for about 3 minutes. I'm going to time it. Then we'll get a second prompt for about 5 minutes and a final prompt for another 5 minutes. So all I need you to do now is, if you haven't got pen and paper in front of you, just click pause and run and find something that you feel comfortable with. The key thing here is that we're going to be breaking out of our kind of control mode. We're trying to bypass the ego. And one of the ways we do that is through writing fast and trying not to think too much about what it is that we're writing. So with that in mind, find yourself a pen. Don't use a crayon, it's a bit too slow. And some paper that you're really happy to just keep writing as fast as you can on. This is the key thing here. So without further ado, let's jump into the first prompt. For the first prompt, I want you to write a list of situations that you're in and where you surprise yourself with your courage and your bravery. Don't try to overthink this and figure out which one's the best or the best, the most courageous example you can come up with. Just let it flow. Just don't make it into something like jumping into a burning house to rescue a puppy or anything like that. There can be small moments of courage as well. Moments when you went up and spoke to a stranger or whatever it is that felt out of your comfort zone. And just write a list of every single one that you can come up with. And let's do that for a couple of minutes. And we've got a few more seconds before we end. For the second part to this prompt, what I want you to do is go a little bit deeper into the emotions that were around it. So how did you feel just before you did something brave? Now, this is an example where you can just do some free writing and let it flow. Just pick one or two or three of these examples that you've listed out before and see if any of those have common themes of emotions. And don't again overthink this. Sometimes we can't trust our memory anyway. So if something comes up as a feeling, just trust that, even if you can't remember that that's exactly what happened at that moment. And we've got a few more seconds before we end. The third part to this prompt is about how you can use this learning that you got right now from the first two parts and use it going forwards. So can you bring back that feeling that you had before you were doing something courageous so that you can use it and tap into it the next time you feel like you need to do something brave? Take a couple of minutes and just journal freely about what those emotions might be able to help you with going forwards, and if you can find a way to remind yourself to pick them up. And we've got a few more seconds before we end. One of the key things I work with people is this idea that we need to take our journal and turn it into something that can help us. That means that a lot of the time introspection is a great start, but then it's about taking action from it. So in the last prompt, the idea was, how can we use what we've learned in our journal right now and turn it into something that's practical going forwards? Because in the end, as much as I love journaling, I also know that my life is lived outside of the journal. My life is when I close the book and I start taking action and interacting with people, because in my journal, things are very much under my control, but life isn't. And that's where that balance of being out there with people and experiencing the randomness of life and then being able to process it in the journal is what really helps us. So if you enjoyed this, would love to get a like and a comment on what you would like a prompt around next time, because this is also part of the development here. We'd love to hear from you, and what are your key struggles around journaling? What prompts would help you? Thank you very much.